These are two things which are going completely unused in today's world. This is the main reason for depression.
If you had to do only physical jobs, you eat one way, mental things another way. So eating the right kind of food becomes very necessary.
That means you're in ill health or you're heading there quickly, both physical and psychological.
If this is achieved, you have reasonably complete human beings who live their life fully.
The word health comes from the root word whole. That means feeling healthy means to be complete, a sense of wholeness within ourselves. For this to happen, our body should be vibrant, our physical energies must be vibrant, our mind must be joyful, emotion must be exuberant. Only then you feel a sense of wholeness. Essentially, within the human being, there is a certain allotment of energy for action, certain allotment of energy for intellect, certain allotment of energy for emotion. Like this, there are various allotments. This differs from person to person, but generally, the amount of energy allotted for… particularly for physical action and emotional dimension, these are two things which are going completely unused in today's world. This is the main reason for depression, believe me. Any number of children that they bring to me with all kinds of mental ailments, I just tell them first thing is some sport that they like, swimming, tennis, something, and music. These two things you bring into their life, within 3 months, most of the children, 80 to 85% of the children will recover quite wonderfully. Because without finding expression to their emotional dimension and if without finding enough exertion for the physical body, they are bound to become depressive. Today it's become like this, sunrise means they watch it on the phone screen, sunset means they watch it on the phone screen. Yes? So losing connection with all that supports and manages our life is going to be a serious challenge of the future. But this is one thing that you can do. If you have children, vacation means don't take them to Mumbai, Bangalore, Dubai, some other place. Just take them, walk them in the jungle. Or take them on a small boat out there, or whatever. Some exposure to nature is needed. You will see how excited children will get and how involved they will become. You need to understand this, your physiological and psychological health can be very easily managed if you're in touch with the elements of nature, of water, soil, light and things like that. If the more exposed you are, the more balanced you are both physiologically and psychologically, which must happen to every human being.
In this country, we made food like this. If you had to do only physical jobs, you eat one way, mental things another way. But today none of us are in that condition. We have to be both physically sharp and mentally sharp, isn't it? That exclusivity of just physical work and mental work is gone. All of us need to be physically good and mentally good. So eating the right kind of food becomes very necessary. Particularly, some of the things were very positive are the ash god. If you consume a glass of ash god juice every day, you will see clearly the sharpness of your intellect will enhance itself, you'll be mentally much sharper than the way you are right now. Especially children must drink ash god juice. Daily consumption of ash god, you will see distinctly your mind seems to be clearer and sharper. This will be noticeable within a few weeks of consumption of ash god. If you drink coffee, it gives you energy with agitation. You drink a glass of ash god juice, it gives you enormous amount of energy. At the same time, it keeps you very calm. Daily consumption of honey can do wonderful things to you, especially if you have children at home. Make honey culture part of your thing. Psychological stability, physical well-being, vitality, all these things can be greatly enhanced simply consuming daily honey. Do you know, whatever cleansing process that happens in the body, whether emptying your bowels or emptying your bladder or exhalation or sweat, these are all different ways the body is trying to clean itself. In all these things, different bodies have different levels of efficiency. If you are in good health, if you're in very good health and if you're eating the right kind of food, when you empty your bowels, nothing, not a speck should remain in your colon. Everything should be gone. In yoga, that's very, very important, your colon being clean. Otherwise, it'll get into your head. Really, your colon not clean and psychological disturbances are very directly connected. In the yogic understanding of life, after you wake up, within 20 minutes, naturally if the bowels don't empty themselves completely, that means you're in ill health or you're heading there quickly, both physical and psychological. It could be either, depending upon whichever is weakest in you, will break first. First thing, if you go to an Ayurvedic doctor, whatever your problem, first thing is he'll purge you, because keeping the colon clean is very important. There are only four things with you right now that you can make use of: your body, your mind, your emotion and your energy. If you manage these four things well, they will produce a certain level of life for you. If you have a healthy body, you will live in one way. If you have a very stable and sharp mind, you live another way. If you have stable and exuberant emotions, you live another way. If you have a very effervescent sense of energy, which is also balanced at the same time, you live another way. Now, for most human beings who are in different various levels of activity in their life, they need all these four things to be in a reasonably good shape. So inner engineering is trying to cater to that, as to how to bring the human being to physical health, mental peace and joy, emotional stability and exuberance, and highly effervescent energy and balance within themselves. If this is achieved, you have reasonably complete human beings who will live their life fully. If any one of them are missing, you will say, I'm not a complete human being in some way. So, the nature of life and our existence is such, what we think is… because our thought process and our intelligence has given us this wrong feeling that we are the center of the universe. No, the existence is not human-centric. We're just one tiny little creature. Significant though. Significant we are. Because of our ability to be conscious, because of our intelligence, we have become significant, but only in our experience. Only in our experience. In the cosmic nature of things, tomorrow morning this planet may just fly away somewhere and vanish. Huh? Possible or no? Many of the asteroids passing by the Earth are bigger than the planet Earth. That's what we are… these days everybody is fearing, because all these years we did not know what the hell is happening. Now that they have seen some huge asteroids, there's a paranoia. If one of them come and hit us, what will happen? Oh, we will go into pieces, of course. So, who we are is not significant in creation, but significant for us, simply because our experience is rooted in us. Because I hear that you are among the foremost… there are many people here who are foremost spinal surgeons. We refer to the human spine as Merudanda, that means the axis of the universe. I know many people just carrying this little body, already the spine is hurting. Axis of the universe. Terrible. Definitely they need a titanium replacement. Why we're calling this the axis of the universe is, human experience is transmitted largely through the spine. Because it's transmitted through the spine, and Our experience is the basis of the universe for us. How do we know there is a world around us? Only because we see, hear, smell, taste and touch. All that is being transmitted through our spine. So, universe exists not because it is there. It exists for us only the way we perceive it. Maybe an earthworm doesn't know there is a moon. Hello? Most probably he doesn't know. He definitely knows there is a sun, I know. But he may not know there is a moon because it may not have any relevance for him. A bird may not know there is a cosmos and he doesn't care probably. But we know all this simply because of our enhanced perception. And this perception is being transmitted. In the process of evolution, one of the most significant steps is… I'm sorry, I'm talking to doctors, but should I? One of the most significant steps in the process of evolution is the making of the spine or the vertebrae as it is. Definitely. Why such a thing happened is, when our neurological system started evolving, somewhere the intelligence of life realized it needs protection. When we say our visual apparatus, this is a very complex eye. It is able to distinguish minutest differences in many things which most other creatures on the planet cannot do. The first… even now this sea life exists, there are certain fish in whom there are photosensitive cells. They can just sense there is light, they cannot see anything. That's the first eye. It's being taken as the first evolutionary eye, must be this fish, because it can see light and darkness, that's all. From there, these sensory organs, these neurological developments have been phenomenal. And the richness of our experience is mainly because of the sensitivity of our neurological system. This needed protection, it needed a conduit. So the spine came up. Another significant aspect of ecological process is, from a horizontal spine, it became a vertical spine. So in yoga, there's a whole system of yoga just training you how you can keep your spine erect, to be aligned always. You're standing, sitting, running, doing whatever you want, but you are conscious where your spine is all the time, because this determines how sensitive you are to life. Because your whole experience of life is being transmitted. And our experience of the universe is just the way we experience it, we don't know any other way. Because of that, this is the center of the universe. In the sense, it's like this. See, now this hall, we can see the walls. Now we can say which is the center of this hall, either that one or this one, we can debate a little bit. But when you cannot see the boundaries of this hall, this is universe, you cannot see the boundaries, I can fix the center wherever I want. Wherever there is intensity of experience, that's my center. So, human spine is seen as the center of the universe and also the axis of the universe, depending upon how sensitive you make it. Accordingly, the enlargement of your experience, the enhancement of your experience of life happens, your perception is enhanced beyond your sense perception. Even to go beyond senses, still the neurological basis is very, very significant. This is the reason why we are saying only a human being can realize. The other creatures are not equipped to realize because their neurological system is not sophisticated enough for that.
Sadhguru, in the video we saw the Dhyanalinga, and it is always said that you have consecrated a lot of energy into Dhyanalinga. But we would like to know what is this energy, because if you take the 3,000 people here, we know that there are some people with high energy and some people with low energy. So is it that they are born like that or they are manufactured like that?
It depends what was their breakfast. Pongal and no coffee. After Pongal you need degree coffee.
Degree coffee. So what do you mean by this energy, which you can take it and keep it in a different place, and how do we get energized? People also say, I heard you say that you sleep only for 2.5 hours. So can you tell us the secret? So
that was at one time. The first 25 years of my activity, on an average I slept 2.5 to 3 hours a day. These days, becoming a bit lazy. Anywhere between 3.5 to 4.5 hours I'm sleeping. More by… not because of my age, for sure, because nothing has changed that way within me. Just that one thing is, these days nutrition is bad because I'm traveling so much and I'm particular that the food is in a certain level of freshness. Once you leave India, most of the food that appears on your plate is minimum 3 months old. It's very difficult to get something which is fresh. So that makes me go skip meals all the time. I think due to lack of daily nourishment. I get nourishment, once in 2 days, 3 days I get good nourishment, but there is no daily nourishment simply because of excessive travel. I think because of that there is a bit of slackness. I think if I eat well for 2-3 months, I'll be back to 3 hours easily. So, why does one person need, well, by prescription these days, 8 hours, is it?
7 to 8 hours. 7 hours sleep.
Okay, 7 hours. And why another person can do with half of that? See, one thing is, as we already went through, the very physical body that you carry is just the food that you've eaten, isn't it? You are looking at food only as protein, vitamin, mineral like this. But we're talking about a food chain, that means they're all different kinds of lives. What we consume is another form of life. Every animal consumes another form of life. This is the way the food cycle is created. So in what condition that life is will determine in what condition your life is, in many ways. So if food appears in front of me, if I just look at it, people have prepared it with elaborate care, if I just look at it, I say no. People say, no, Sadhguru, this girl, this lady has brought it, she's a very good cook, she's very tasty. I just look at it and say no. Simply because it's not alive enough for me. It may be tasty, but it's not alive enough for me. If it's not alive enough, I will not consume. If you're just conscious of this one thing, you will see your sleep quota will go down. Another thing is, most people are eating at least 50%. 50% means 100% more than what they need to eat. Yes, you will do one thing. As an experiment, just try this. Whatever you're eating, cut it down by 50%. If you're eating, let's say, 2 kilograms of food, cut it down to 1 kilogram and eat variety of foods, you will see you will neither drop weight, nor will you become weak, nor will you become less energetic. Only thing that'll happen is, your sleep quota will go down. Because you're putting so much food to generate the same amount of energy, you're eating more by compulsion of liking the taste or simply by compulsion of filling yourself up. Now the body has to process so much food to create so much energy. This extra processing is taking a toll on the system. The amount of impurities that are there in the food will also determine how much inertia you generate in the body. Let's understand it this way, in terms of physical terms. What sleep means is inertia. Right now you're dynamic, this is life, inertia sets in. When inertia goes beyond a certain point, that's death. But sleep is a certain kind of death, but it is offering you rest. So restfulness is very important. What is being restful means is, if you sit here, if you're at total ease, you will see the body is naturally restful. Have you noticed on a particular day, you are very happy, on that day you don't need much sleep or food, have you noticed this? That's all you have to do. If you remain very joyful every moment of your life, the food will come down, sleep will come down naturally. So there are many aspects to this. Fundamentally, if you keep your life energies very exuberant, now you will see the sleep quota will naturally come down. To keep it exuberant, you should not be overled. Largely, in the ashram, everybody, young people also, eat only 2 meals a day, 10 in the morning, 7 in the evening. Our activity exceeds most people's activity in the world, and we are 7 days, 365 days, we don't know what's a vacation, because we are enjoying what we're doing. We don't want a break. So, they never go on a vacation, there is no break, there's no Sunday, Monday nonsense, nothing, every day something is happening endlessly. But you will see, people are very energetic, healthy, sleep is very little. So, energetically, a human being can be at different levels. Why this is important is, see, what we call as life is just a combination of two things, a certain amount of energy and a certain amount of time. When it comes to time, it is ticking away for all of us at the same pace. Clock doesn't run slowly for me, faster for you, there's no such thing. Whether you are busy, you are lazy, you are sleeping, you are doing useful things or useless things, it doesn't matter what you do or you do not do, time is ticking away. So there's no such thing as time management. You can manage your energy. If you raise your energy to a higher pitch of intensity, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. So if you live for 100 years, it looks like you lived for 1,000 years. Simply because your energy is pitched up. This every human being can do. The whole yogic system is… one dimension of yogic system is just towards this. If you sit here, even if you simply sit here with your eyes closed, you don't sit here in a static way. You sit here in a dynamic way. You never become static, because static is called as death. If everything becomes static, that is death. If inertia really sets in, that is death. So sleep in yoga is seen as death. You die every day. How long do you want to die in a day? You really must use this word for yourself. Don't tell anybody, I'm going to die. For yourself, how long do I want to die in a day? 8 hours a day if you die. 1/3 of your life you're dead. In 24 hours, 8 hours you're dead means 1/3 of your life dead. Another 4 hours goes into eating, sleeping, eating, toilet, bath, this, that. Where is the time to live, I'm asking? So, if life is precious, the most important thing to do is keep your energies in an exuberant way so that life becomes more, life feels enhanced. Because you cannot enhance time, maybe you can live a few years longer, but you can't slow down time for yourself. Do what you want. Do whatever you want, time keeps rolling. As you sit here, since you came and sat here, you're about an hour and a half closer to your grave. It's a diagnosis. That was not me, okay? So, this is very important because one dimension of what we call as life, which is time. See, in Tamil language, this is very good. When somebody dies, we don't say he is dead, we say kalamaitangan. Simply means his time got over. Perfect description, isn't it? All that happened is time got over. So time is getting over as you sit here, yes or no? Hello? Those immortal beings, I'm asking you. Time is getting over. As you sit here, it's going away. So the only thing we can manage is, how intense is my life energy? For this, we have a whole lot of systems to slowly work on it, work on it, work on it in such a way that, there were times, these days, one night is okay, second night I'm a bit down. Otherwise, there was a time, 3 nights if I don't sleep, continuous 3 nights, consecutive nights, I don't sleep. Full day I'm working, full night I'm working. If you see me on the 4th day, I will be just fine, you won't even make out anything. Today I'm little… as I said, this excessive travel, I don't have enough sadhana to keep me up like that. But one night, 2 nights also I could manage, but one night effortlessly I will go, even today. How about… there was a question about Dhyana Linga in this, which I missed out. What Dhyana Linga means is, because time is running out for me, like everybody else, I'm not saying I'm going to… Everybody should know, time is running out. Hello? As we sit here, it's running out for all of us. Because time is running out, people on the spiritual path will always wonder, after Sadhguru what? What do we do? So, this was the vision of another great yogi way back, that to establish a form which is like a living yogi, but he won't travel, he's always there. A yogi without legs, good or no? That he can't go anywhere, but a full-fledged being with all the 7 chakras and everything, full-fledged. Only thing is, he doesn't ask for food, good. He doesn't sleep, good. And he doesn't die, very good. And he doesn't go anywhere, very, very good. So that's the kind of yogi we created, who's sitting there right now. He can't walk, he can't talk, he won't eat, he won't die. Good or no? Insurance for future.
Sadhguru, you said about Kalamanar, his time is over. So is that time a finite time for all of us? Because medically, there is so much of billions of dollars being spent on trying to extend our life. So if we think that there is a finite time for everybody, so is this a wrong process of thought process to work on for research, or is it a futile research?
See, if all these idiots live forever, what do you do? The chant that I did in the beginning, Jananam Sukadam, Maranam Karunam. Death is a great compassion if it comes at the right time. If we really want to punish you, let's say we won't give you death sentence, we will give you a deathless sentence, you cannot die. You will suffer much more than death sentence, isn't it? Yes. So, only a fool who is inebriated either with money or hormones thinks he wants to live forever, you understand? Either money has blinded him or his intelligence has been fully hijacked by his hormones. Such a fool wants to live forever. Otherwise, it's very nice that you come, you live a full-fledged life and you go gracefully, it's wonderful. But we want to live a full life. What does a full life mean? Full life does not mean 1,000 years. Full life means everything that is there for a human being to explore, know and experience must happen in this life. It's very important. A full-fledged life. So for this, how long can they live? People are investing billions of dollars. They don't have to. If they invest a couple of hours a day, we can make them live a full life. In the sense, both in terms of experience and time. In terms of time, because our birth has a relationship with the cycles of the sun and the cycles of the moon. I will not go into the detail of this will get too complex. But to put it very simply, only because our mothers' bodies were in sync with the cycles of the moon, we are sitting here today, yes or no? If our mothers' bodies were not in sync with the cycles of the moon, we wouldn't be born. So, there are 9 celestial objects which have significant impact on our body. Out of these, 3 of them are most important: the planet Earth, which provides material for our body; Moon, which sets up certain basic cycles within our system; and sun. Everything here is solar powered. If one moves within you, these cycles are happening. In a female body, it's very obviously happening. Even in a male body, it is happening, but not so visible because a man is supposed to fend for the humanity. A man is supposed to take care of the survival. Today, life has changed in the world simply because of technology, not because of liberalism, okay? World has changed because of technology, that our survival process is no more going and hunting in the forest. Our survival process is going to the office. Because of that, a woman also can go to the office as a man goes and probably do better because she doesn't have to smoke, she doesn't have to look at the other woman. So she is far more focused on her work. Maybe she's more productive in the workplace. But man was structured by the nature. If we lived in the jungle, then man would be very important for survival. She would be important for other things. So if you look at the cycles, the lunar cycle is the shortest cycle that we have. There are other kinds of cycles, I will not go into the mathematics of it, but the largest cycle we can go into the solar cycle, which is 12.25 years long. So, whole yogic process on one level is focused towards taking the body from a lunar cycle to a solar cycle. From a 28-day cycle, we want to slowly push this into a larger cycle where our cycles are 12.25 years. If that happens, the system becomes a total ease. Physiologically, psychologically, you come to such a state of balance. We have specific practices to move a person towards the solar cycles. These are called Surya Kriya. You start doing this so that gradually you imbibe a certain dimension. These dimensions are always on. The influence of the sun, the influence of the moon, the influence on the planet is continuously on us. Which will we allow to maximize within ourselves? A woman within the childbearing age, her influence, influence of the moon is very heavy on her. That is a responsibility that she has, that's why we are alive, that's why we are born, that's why we are here, because a woman's body was made like that. But over that, her life cycle also changes and she can also move to others. Even during the childbearing age, she can leave the reproductive system in that cycle and move the rest of it away. It is very much possible for a human being to do that. So, as this happens, 1008 cycles of the moon is considered a full life. This becomes 82 something, a little more than 82 years, gets us to that stage. So we say, for the sake of safety, because there are certain other aspects to it, we say if you cross 84 years, you have lived a full life. There are many changes which happen in the system once people cross that 1008. So what is the maximum life a human being can live? See, in normal human being, I don't know what the medical science says, please tell me, I'm not conscious about that. Normally we see that by our own experience, a human being breathes between 12 to 15 times per minute. Is that the understanding? If you're breathing 15 times per minute, you're breathing 21,600 times per minute. 21,600 is not just an accidental number that you have arrived at. 21,600 is the number of nautical miles across the equator. And for every longitude that you have, between one longitude and the next longitude, the space is 60 nautical miles. This is considered as a minute. Anybody who is an aviator or a navigator knows this. We call the space as a minute, because that's 1 minute. And our breath and the cycles of the planet are very closely connected. If we drop our breathing to 12 on an average, suppose by doing the right kind of practices, you bring your breath to 12, we say you will live up to 108 years of age. If you drop your breath to 9, we say you will live up to 124 years of age. If you drop your breath to 6, we say you will live up to 164 years. If somebody comes to a state where they come to a static breath, no breath for long periods of time, that means it's almost like you're hibernating and being reborn. Such a person, we call him a nirmanakaya, that means he recreates his own body. He goes into hibernation states and recreates his body. For him, we don't fix a time span, it is his choice how long he lives. Till he has a certain purpose, he may live and he will die when he's well. He will not die because of ailments, he will not die because of something, he will die when he is well. So, this is not like an absolute thing, this is a general trajectory of life.
Sadhguru, we are having a lot of young doctors here. So I would like to ask 2 or 3 questions on behalf of them. You said that in Isha Yoga there is no weekend. If you tell that to young doctors, they think there is no life. Because sadly, due to WhatsApp messages and Facebook and all the things that come, there's a big problem for the younger generation on work-life balance. So how did you manage to make a weekendless week? I'm just asking it in a selfish way for my hospital.
See, well, there are different things to attend to in life probably. There is a family and there are friends and there is pleasure and there is picnic and so many things they want to do. But I was… first time, many years ago, first time when I was in the United States, they took me to restaurants which was TGIF. I said, what's TGIF? They said, thank God it's Friday. I said, what? No, the thing is, Friday afternoon means already they stopped working and they're thinking of a party. So they're living for the weekend. One who suffers the week and lives for the weekend, a very measly life, isn't it? How come you don't enjoy the week? Only weekend? Simply because a whole lot of people, I am not commenting on your doctors, I'm saying generally a whole lot of people are doing things which don't mean a damn to them to themselves. It doesn't mean a damn thing to them, they're just doing it because it's a way of earning a living. Yesterday some television channel was misinterpreting what I said long time ago very badly. I said, when I was 10 years of age, I told my father, who was a very ardent physician, not a simple physician, very ardent. So all his life academically he's excelled in everything and a dedicated doctor. He became a doctor because he lost his mother when he was 4.5 years of age to tuberculosis. So there are very touching stories how he used to go to see his mother and she would put a towel on his face and kiss him because she was afraid she will infect. And those days there was not much treatment, so they just built a house for her on a hillock, thinking that fresh air would cure her tuberculosis, but she passed away at the age of maybe 21 or so, 21 or 22 maybe, a young woman. So at that time, she told him, it's a very rich merchant family, where naturally by the time you're 12, you're into business. So, she told him, you must become a doctor. Because she felt if some other kind of doctor had come, she would have saved her life. We don't know what turmoil she went through, who knows. So he committed that he will become a doctor. And at the age of 12, when his father tried to force him into business, he left the family, went outside, leaving a very wealthy family and studying outside on the streets, and slowly he became a doctor. So the first thing he did was, he served in the Mysore sanatorium for tuberculosis. For 3 years, he worked in the sanatorium for 50 rupees a month. So he is that kind of a doctor, totally dedicated. Later on he served in the government. So his idea of success is, you must become a doctor. If you're not a doctor, you're no good for anything, at least when it came to his children. That is the expectation. So I didn't want to disappoint him later. So when I was 10, I told him, this is one thing that I'm not going to be.
Did you know the future of doctors even then, or?
No, so all along my father was always worried that I'm not getting trained for anything specific.